Hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda. I'm back with another Goodreads list of the big new fantasy books for summer. So if you're interested in fantasy books, follow along with me as we look at these books. I've already gone through and picked out the ones that I'm most excited about. First of all, this list has 24 books, I'm pretty sure. There's only one that I've already read, and that is The Frugal Wizard's Handbook for Surviving Medieval England by Brandon Sanderson. That is Secret Project number 2, and I've already read that one. And then there were a few that I already had on my want to read list, so those are for sure going. So I've got Immortal Longings, which is number 1 in a series. That's kind of a theme. There are a lot of number ones in series coming out this summer. So if you always, like me, feel behind on fantasy series, this summer has got all of us covered. We're going to definitely be able to start some series this summer, and then I won't feel behind on so many things anymore. Anyway, this one, I don't know what it's about. This Chloe Gong is a YA author, and I'm usually not all about YA, but this one is an adult fantasy retellings. That's all I know about it right now. I'm excited. Then Deep as the Sky, Red as the Sea is another one that I already had on my want to read list. Look at the cover. Look at the cover. I love this cover so much. So absolutely did it. It's got something to do with pirates. It says, a riveting, roaring adventure novel about a legendary Chinese pirate queen, her fight to save her fleet from the forces allied against them, and the dangerous price of power. Yes, and thank you. I am here. Then The Water Outlaws. This is the last book that I had already decided that I wanted to read before I saw this list. So this is inspired by a classic of martial arts literature. I don't know about that, but it says S.L. Huang's Water Outlaws are bandits of devastating ruthlessness, unseemingly femininity, dangerous philosophies, and ungovernable gender who are ready to make history or tear it apart. Again, yes, and thank you. I am here for that. So, those are the 3 books that are for sure going to get read this summer, the brand new books. Now, what about the rest of these? Because I have picked out a lot of these books, and I didn't read about all of them, so I'm going to go through and read about some of them and narrow them down and decide yes or no about whether I want to keep them. So first we have Witch King by Martha Wells. Martha Wells wrote the Murderbot Diaries, and so far I've still only read the first one, but I liked it. And so when I saw the name Martha Wells, I was like, let me check this out. And it says, Kai is having a long day in this Witch King. After being murdered, his consciousness dormant and unaware of the passing of time while confined in an elaborate water trap, Kai wakes to find a lesser mage attempting to harness his magic for his own advantage. That was never going to go well. But why was Kai imprisoned in the first place, and what has changed in the world since his assassination? I think this is a cool twist on the normal fantasy where you've locked away the big evil and, they're working behind the scenes to bring themselves back. And in this one, Kai is the one that was imprisoned, and we have to find out why. Was he the bad guy? Were they imprisoning him to protect everybody else, or was he trying to do something else and they imprisoned him for that? So I'm excited. Witch King sounds good. Clytemnestra, that's not how you say it, I'm sure, but when I went to school back in the 1900s, as my children like to say, I studied I took one class where we read one mythology book. I was about to say I studied mythology a little bit. That was an absolute lie. One class where we read one book. That big mythology book like Edith Hamilton or something that everybody reads. So in Arkansas, they pronounce this person's name Clytemnestra. I see now that there's a T in there, and I'm not saying a T sound ever. So, I don't know. Clytemnestra, maybe. Clytemnestra? I don't know. Arkansas, whatever. This says, the most notorious villainess of the ancient world and the events that forged her into the legendary queen. That sounds fantastic. I haven't read Madeline Miller's books, Ariadne or Circe, so I don't know for sure. whether I'm going to like this or whether I like this kind of mythological retelling kind of things, or not retellings, but just more modern tellings of it. But it sounds good to me. When you give me a villainous queen, yeah, I'm here. This one, okay, first of all, I know who Mark Lawrence is. I know that he has a lot to do with the SPFBO, which is the self-published fantasy competition or something. And so I know who he is. I have never read any of his books. And this is book 1 in a trilogy. And it's called the Library Trilogy. And look at the cover of this book. And it's called The Book That Wouldn't Burn. There are just so many things about the cover, the title, the everything that is pulling me in before I even know one thing about it. A boy has lived his whole life trapped within a vast library, older than empires and larger than cities. Y'all, that's like heaven, right? A girl has spent hers in a tiny settlement out on the dust where nightmares stalk and no one goes. The world has never even noticed them. That's about to change. Oh my gosh, that's like the greatest setup ever. Yes, yes, yes. That is a yes. Okay, remember when I said I'm going to go through these books that I have at the top of my screen and eliminate the ones I'm not interested in reading? What if I want to read all of these? This is going to be a problem. I can already tell it's going to be a problem. Then we have The Enchanted Hacienda. When Harlow Estrada is abruptly fired from her dream job and her boyfriend proves to be a jerk, her world turns upside down. She flees New York City to the one place she can always call home, the Enchanted Hacienda Estrada. Estrada. I know Estrella is like a star. What is Estrada? Estrella. Okay, whatever. Okay, so her family lives in this magical hacienda, and it is... their magic is harnessed through flowers. Like, isn't that cool? I did recently read a self-published fantasy book, fantasy romance, where they used not just flowers, but different kinds of weeds and everything to do magic. That was kind of interesting. I'll pop a picture up here because I don't remember the name of it, but I do want to give her credit because I really liked that book. Okay, I don't even know if it's out yet. Sorry. But this one says that the flowers can heal hearts, erase memories, interpret dreams. But our girl, Harlow, cannot do that because she's magicless. So her family asked her to do something and she's freaked out about it because she doesn't have magic. So I don't know. This is an I don't know book. I'm gonna move it down here to the end. We're going to call it an I don't know book. Then we go to Ink Blood Sister Scribe. First of all, the cover. I love the cover. I love even how the author's name is like inking down the screen. I love it. It's a debut novel, which is always something that piques my interest. 2 estranged half-sisters are tasked with guarding their family's library of magical books. Hello, library of magical books. And they must work together to unravel a deadly secret at the heart of their collection. A tale of familial loyalty and betrayal and the pursuit of magic and power. Okay, I like this. This is not a ton of my buzzwords, so I'm going to put it higher than the other one, but I am going to move it down the list. Because I got to eliminate something at some point, right? The first bright thing. Oh, yeah, this is not going to be the one that I'm eliminating, though. If you knew how dark tomorrow would be, what would you do with today? Ringmaster, or Rin, to those who know her best, can jump to different moments in time as easily as her wife Odette soars from bar to bar on the trapeze. And the circus they lead is a rare home and safe haven for magical misfits and outcasts known as Sparks. I mean, I'm here. I don't even want to know anything else. First of all, I love that she's a time jumper. Also, I love that it's a circus. And so look at this cover. It is an hourglass with a circus tent at the bottom of it. Like, I love it. So hopefully this has enough magic in it to keep me interested. And it's not just like a contemporary fiction novel that has a little magic thrown in a little bit. So I'm still putting it, I'm putting it under the Ink Sisters, but above the Hacienda. Okay, here we go. This is the beginning of a duology, so if you want to get in on the ground floor like me, here we go. Debut novel. First book in an action-packed, poignant duology inspired by Nigerian mythology. I know nothing about that. That'll be awesome. Full of magic and emotion and set in a highly atmospheric, complex world in which a young woman fights to survive a tyrannical society, having everything stripped away from her, and seeks vengeance for her mother's murder and the spilled blood of her people. Yes! Look at this cover. She has a giant sword. I love that they used it to go through the words in the title. Love it. Yes, absolutely yes. I'm not moving it. It's staying right up here at the top. I mean, this is going to be a bad summer for me. It's going to be a summer filled with reading. Okay. Another book one in a series. So now this is our third book one, if you're counting. Third book one. The Sun and the Void. In a lush world inspired by the history and folklore of South America, a sweeping epic fantasy of colonialism, ancient magic, and two young women's quest for belonging unfolds. Look at this cover. People are going above and beyond with their covers. I love the colors that they used in this. So it appears that we just have two women, one of them whose family is like steeped in magic, and another one who is drawn to magic, but her family and she wants to resist it because magic is evil, they think. So we're going to find out what is what and what happens with the Sun and the Void. This one sounds really good. Not at the top, but I am going to leave it. No, I'm going to move it down here, but it's going to be at the top of mine at the bottom. Does that make sense? It's the top of the bottom. Now we have T. Kingfisher. I put this on here because I saw T. Kingfisher. I saw nothing else, and I didn't need to see anything else. I love T. Kingfisher's novels. I don't know why I want to say Tingfisher now that I'm saying T and King together. Whew. Okay. Thorn Hedge is the tale of a kind-hearted, toad-shaped heroine, a gentle knight, and a mission gone completely sideways. That's it. That's all I need to know. I'm here, and I will read it, and I love the cover. Not all curses should be broken, it says. Wow. Okay, that is an absolute yes. Then, this one, I feel like I've heard somebody talk about this, but I didn't have anything on my list about it. The Weaver and the Witch King. The lives of two women, one desperate only to save her missing sister, the other a witch destined to become the Queen of Norway, intertwine in this spellbinding, powerful novel of Viking Age history and myth from the author of The Witch's Heart. I haven't read that either, but this is set in the 10th century in Norway. Like, how cool is that? So I love this. It seems to be just like a story about sisterhood in all kinds of ways, like biological sisters and chosen sisters. And it says the bonds, both enchanted and emotional, that hold the two women together are strong. And when they find their way back to each other, these bonds will be tested in ways that never could have foreseen in this deeply moving novel of magic, history, and sworn sisterhood. So we're putting it on the maybe list down here at the bottom, but on the maybe list. I'm putting it under The Sun and the Void, y'all. We have another book, number 1, Dark Water Daughter. Look at the cover. Look at it. Oh my gosh. The Winter Sea is the name of the series. A storm singer and pirate hunter join forces against a deathless pirate lord in this swashbuckling Jacobean adventure on the high seas. Yes, and thank you. That's all I need to know. Another number 1 book in a series, The Jasad Heir. Look at the cover of this. I want to touch this book. I feel like it's got ridges on it. In this Egyptian-inspired debut fantasy, a fugitive queen strikes a deadly bargain with her greatest enemy and finds herself embroiled in a complex game that could resurrect her scorched kingdom or leave it in ashes forever. Yes, and thank you. That's staying right where it is. Okay. Oh my gosh, we're finally to the end. Okay, I did not put this book on here to read it because it's a King Arthur book, and I honestly do not care about the Knights of the Round Table. So, if you do, this book is coming out May the 25th. It'll be out very soon. So, do you want to read this? Perilous Times. An immortal Knight of the Round Table faces his greatest challenge yet, saving the politically polarized, rapidly warming world itself in this slyly funny contemporary take on Arthurian legend. I know there are some of you that read all the Arthurian books, so here you go. Here's one more. The other one, Thief, Liar, Lady. This one is a Cinderella reimagining. So there you go. Thief, Liar, Lady. If you guys want to check that out, you can. I am going to pass on it. So what am I left with? I'm left with 15 books. I'm just going to say I might not have any money after this summer. After this summer of buying all the books, I might not have any money left. And maybe this experiment is going to be like, you know what? Maybe don't do this. Maybe don't try to read every new book that's coming out. I mean, I'm not reading every one of them, but I do have 15 out of 24 that I said yes to. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. The ones on the end, I'm going to read them in the order that I have them listed here, I think. And the ones on the end, the Hacienda, the First Bright Thing, the Inkblood Sister Scribe, and the Weaver and the Witch, those are going to be closer to the bottom, and maybe I won't get to those, but maybe I will. Anyway, I want you to let me know what you think about these. Which ones are you most interested in? Have you read any of these? Are there any pre-releases of any that you've read? What have you heard about them? I want to know your thoughts. Also, do you, like me, feel like you're behind on a ton of series? And so when you see these book number ones, does it make you excited that you get to start a new series? Or does it make you sad that you're going to start a new series that you then have to finish? I want to know your thoughts about it. And I will see you guys at the end of the summer to catch up on all of these books that I have read. Thanks for watching. Bye.